Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Always Compete Seahawks podcast. I am Mike. That is Sam, here with you guys to bring you a game preview for the game tonight. For you guys tonight, for us it's tomorrow. We're recording this Wednesday night. Big game against the Rams. Thursday night football. We're wearing the action greens in Seattle. I mean, stage you're not going to get a bigger, week 5 game, right? Two teams who want to go far in the playoffs, pushing for that NFC West title. So big game for sure. And we're going to kind of break it down for you guys and take you through like what to expect. And first off, we got injuries. So Sam, take it away.
Yes. So for the injuries, hate to, maybe ruin the mood a little bit, but the Rams are just about perfect on injuries. They have nobody on the injury report this week. So they are going to be literally at full go to play. They're going to have to not play 6 players per rule. Which is a stupid rule. If all 53 players are healthy, why not let them play? It's stupid. But yeah, so 6 players are not going to play, but I would expect them all to be, non-important bench players that aren't going to see the game.
Nobody significant is going to miss for the Rams.
Yeah, so everybody practiced. They're healthy. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, actually, like in the grand scheme of things, we are pretty healthy this week. Only 3 players with an injury designation going into tomorrow. One of those is out. That is D'Wayne Eskridge, who's still fighting that concussion. I imagine that it's just something that the team doctors won't clear him for.
Yeah.
So obviously that's an issue. But I think Freddie Swain and Penny Hart, who neither of them have injury designations, which is especially good for Penny Hart because he was a little bit questionable this week. He's good to go for this week. So D'Wayne Eskridge once again out. Chris Carson and Benson Mayowa are questionable. Benson Mayowa will probably play. He's listed as questionable, but he practiced full the last 2 days, basically meaning that he's going to play.
Yeah.
And then going on to Chris Carson, which is the much more questionable one. I'm surprised he's not just listed as out because he has not practiced the last 3 days. And apparently the thing about Chris Carson is that he has some weird neck condition.
Yeah, that's not good.
Which is bad. If I need to look it up, but it was really, Chris Carson has a quote long-term neck issue.
That does not sound good. Not at all.
Yeah.
But
that's
on a brighter
bad.
side,
he said it's a condition that he deals with.
Yeah.
So
on the brighter side, Darrell Taylor and Carlos Dunlap are going to be able to play, which is awesome. They're not even listed on the injury report, right?
They are not listed on the injury report. Carlos Dunlap this week was limited full. He didn't practice full today, and then Darrell Taylor was DNP limited full. Both are playing today, which is good.
Good.
I mean, both are playing this week. Neither of them have an injury designation. I would expect Benson Mayowa to go. I would not expect Chris Carson to go.
I don't know what I expect from Chris Carson. I think he'll try to go.
He's going to try to go, but I imagine that Pete Carroll's comfortable with what Alex Collins showed him last week.
True. Alex can tote the rock a little bit. The only thing, the problem is, if we have Alex Collins and then DJ Dallas, Penny's out, Chris Carson's out, maybe we bring up a guy like Josh Johnson. Maybe.
A very real possibility. You never know. Maybe. Any moves, I believe, would probably be reported by tomorrow afternoon. So if there's anything about that.
If Josh Johnson gets called up to the active roster, we're doing an emergency episode. I'm a DM him. Me and Josh are close. We're close. I'll DM
featuring him. Josh Johnson.
Just in the locker room, like, hey, what's up, Russ?
Yeah, that would imagine though. No,
it'd be so cool.
On the real.
It's actually warming up, just vlogging.
On the real, both teams are very healthy. He's on the sideline.
Yeah.
He's Pete Carroll's
he just sees Pete just. Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
On the real, talking about injuries, both teams are pretty healthy this week. Seahawks have
a
little bit more key injuries, and the Rams really have nobody. So, Mike, we're going to pass it on to you with the offensive keys.
Yeah, so going off of injuries, we got some offensive keys to the game. Now, I made a video for you guys, would be yesterday, talking about the keys to beat the Rams. I'm going to reiterate some of the same concepts, but I'm going to also elaborate a little bit more and talk about some new things. One key that I forgot to mention in my previous video that is going to be key for this game offensively is DK Metcalf is going to have to beat Jalen Ramsey on some one-on-ones. Mm-hmm. They're going to shadow we already know they're going to shadow DK with Jalen Ramsey. He's just going to have to win, point blank, period, right? That's number one. Number two, it becomes a little bit harder with Chris Carson probably out. We're going to have to run the ball, right? I don't want to say susceptible, but you can run on the Rams a little bit, right? If we could break off some big runs, that could really help, limit their pass rush. It could help open up some deep shots down the field. It could, keep our offense on the field a little bit, let our defense get a breather. So running the ball is going to be very, very key. And last but not least, something that we have struggled with all year that we simply just need to get it fixed is third downs. League average third down conversion percentage is 42%. Right now, Seattle is converting 13 of their 39 third downs for 33%, 9% below league average, which is very bad. So if our offense is going to, score some points against this really good Rams defense, we got to get ourselves some third down conversions, right? No more 3 and outs. No more of that stuff. That if we do what we do against the Niners, we have 5 straight 3 and outs, we're not winning this game. So we got to get us some third down conversions. So those are my keys on offense. Other than the usual, just Russ, just do magic, just pull something out of your ass. That's like a given every week. But those are the keys for this game specifically.
Well, I'm moving on to the defensive keys. We were kind of given what we need to do from the Cardinals this week, and that is get pressure. Mm-hmm. Get pressure on the quarterback, because I feel like this defense has potential to be very good at forcing turnovers. As long as we can get pressure and force the quick pressure, though, because our secondary isn't good. I don't know if you guys I don't know if I needed to tell you guys that or anything. I don't know if that's like a shocker.
It's an extreme hot take.
Yeah, it's a very hot take. The Seahawks.
Sidney Jones isn't Darrelle Revis? What?
You sure?
Since when?
You sure that we don't have the Legion of Boom?
Yeah.
2.0? Actually, 3.0 after last year. So
yeah. Oh my God.
3.0.
Evan, man, that was not a great tweet. That did not age well, man. I still remember that tweet.
Well, listen. So, defensive keys to the game: get pressure on Matt Stafford quick, make him uncomfortable, and force him to make those throws that aren't really there, like the Cardinals forced him to do, versus them last week, where he had a couple turnovers, a couple missed passes that were there. The Rams are kind of struggling in the run game right now. They're not awful, but it means that they have to rely on Matt Stafford a lot more than they maybe would have had to if they had Cam Akers, or if they had a full-strength Darrell Henderson going at it. So, it's a very interesting game. My defensive keys: just force pressure and then let the playmakers make their plays. Because if you force pressure, Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams, DJ Reed, they will make those plays for you and finish what the defensive line started. But the defensive line needs to be on point for the Seahawks to try to win this game tomorrow.
Yeah, no, 100%. And you mentioned, making plays and, getting turnovers and stuff. The Rams this year, for as good as their defense has been at getting takeaways, they've given up 4 takeaways themselves. So their turnover ratio is 0. 4 turnovers, 4 takeaways. We're 1 turnover, the Chris Carson fumble, and then 4 takeaways. So we're +3 right now. So turnovers are definitely key. So moving on from some defensive keys, we got key players, right?
Yes.
My key player, I got one for offense and defense. All right. My offensive key player is going to be DK Metcalf. Like I said before, we know Jalen Ramsey is going to be on DK Metcalf. We know this. We can't just not throw to Jalen Ramsey. As good as Jalen Ramsey is, we can't let him just eliminate arguably our best receiver. We can't, right? DK is going to have to get open. They're going to have to scheme him open. I would like to put him in motion a little bit, try to get him, remember what the Packers did in the playoffs last year against Jalen Ramsey? They motioned him across, got him on that flat route, and scored. We need to get DK Metcalf the ball. He needs to be a big part of this game, and we can't let Jalen Ramsey just eliminate him. So DK is my offensive key player. My defensive key player is going to be Sidney Jones for a couple of reasons. Number one, for the fact of the Rams got some pretty good wideouts. Robert Woods and especially Cooper Kupp are no joke, right? We're going to need some good coverage skills. Reason number 2, and this is for a Sidney Jones reason, is Sidney Jones has to prove that he can be a starting corner for us, right? Last week, I thought he played in the grand scheme of things overall well, but he had a couple really bad plays that led to touchdowns. He can't be doing that, right? And I'll give him a break. It's his first week. I can totally get that. But he's got to put his foot in the ground. And he's got to say, this is my spot. I'm the starting corner. He's got to prove himself. So what better way to prove yourself than against the Rams on Thursday Night Football? The whole country's going to be watching. I think Sidney Jones is a very key player on this defense for tomorrow.
Totally. And I'm going to kind of go a little bit of a different route. I'm going to say that I'm going to kind of go the same way with one offense, one defense. My offensive player is whoever's the starting tight end by tomorrow. It might be Gerald Everett. It might be Will Dissly. Hell, it might be Colby Parkinson. We don't know what the Seahawks have been scheming up in practice. So whoever is getting the majority of snaps at tight end needs to be good for a couple of reasons. Looking at how this Rams defense is built, they're very secondary and D-line heavy, meaning that and their linebackers are probably by far their weakest area on the defense. 100%. So realistically, we're going to be looking at linebackers matching up versus tight ends. Obviously, the most ideal matchup for that is Gerald Everett. He's more athletic than Will Dissly, but I would also like Colby Parkinson to kind of be able to have some moments where he can match up versus a linebacker and make plays, because when this offense, the Shane Waldron offense, is able to successfully use a tight end like it did in week 1, where the offense was clicking basically throughout the entire game, I think that when this offense can function with a tight end, it's just so much better. So whenever we can have a starting tight end be able to make plays, no matter who it is, I'm confident in Will Dissly. He's made plays. I think Colby Parkinson can be a serious playmaker in this offense when given the opportunity. And I think Gerald Everett has the best big play chances of any tight end on this team, just with his athleticism and his just ability to find the gaps and get open. So I think that whoever starts a tight end just in general is going to need to be a key player for this team and for this game. And on defense, I'm going to say Jamal Adams. I think Jamal Adams needs to have a good game.
Yeah.
With a couple things here. Like I said, Shane Waldron is a Rams kind of born and raised coach.
Yeah.
The Rams love their tight ends, and they have a really good one in Tyler Higbee, and they managed to get him open a lot. We need Jamal to be able to match up versus Tyler Higbee like he did versus George Kittle last week and be able to take him out of the game. Yeah, George Kittle, when Jamal Adams was covering in general last week, he had 6 targets. He allowed 1 catch for 4 yards and about a 40 quarterback rating.
That's good stuff right there.
George Kittle didn't particularly have a great game by any means for George Kittle standards. So Jamal Adams played a very successful game of football last week. Like I said, kind of tying it back to how I said we need to get pressure on Matt Stafford, the more Jamal Adams can match up and make Matt Stafford less see pressure and know that the pressure's coming, rather just feel the potential of pressure, make him uneasy before the play even starts, and have to make him make a decision. Even if Jamal Adams doesn't rush or doesn't make a serious attempt at getting to Matt Stafford, let him anticipate, let him get nervous, because Matt Stafford obviously knows that Jamal Adams can be a game-changing player, because if you watch film, it shows a lot. So those are my 2 players that I think are the most key for this game, just where this team is at this point versus the team that they're playing.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree with Jamal Adams being key. And just in general, I mean, Jamal's just always a key in our defense, but especially against the Rams, he's just going to have to do everything. I would guess that he blitzes a little bit. He's going to cover Tyler Higbee. He's going to be on Cooper Kupp, I'm sure, at some points. He's going to have to stop those. The Rams love running that zone running scheme. He's going to be responsible for filling the gaps there. So 100%, I think Jamal's going to have a big game. Now, let's kind of get into some predictions. So as we say every week, this isn't gambling advice. We did tell you to bet Seahawks money line last week. We were correct. Just saying. But the Seahawks are coming into this game, the Rams are coming into this game favored by 2.5. A couple of things to note. It is a primetime game in Seattle, which Russell Wilson has been historically phenomenal in his career. And I'm not I totally lied. I'm a superstitious guy, right? I believe, if you do this right, you got to do this. The Seahawks are 7-0 when they wear the action green jerseys. I'm just saying.
Just knocking on wood, because you never want to jinx anything.
Knocking on wood.
You can use some unjinxable words here in saying that going into Thursday,
right,
without taking anything that might happen on Thursday into play. So far, throughout the uniform's history, the Seahawks have in fact been 7-0. Now, that does obviously not mean that they will win on Thursday.
No, it's not what I'm saying. But
I'm not trying to ruin these jerseys for me. This is the only thing these jerseys have. I mean, I don't love the look of the jerseys.
I will be honest. There's a huge debate on Twitter. I love the look of these jerseys.
I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. They're solid.
They're
fine.
Love it. Here.
But I think that
I mean, this is just so sexy, man. Like, this is so sexy.
I think
in my opinion,
I would probably say that. I mean, the biggest redeeming quality of these jerseys is that we so far throughout their history have a undefeated record in them. But
hey man, Deion Sanders always said, if you look good, you play good. And these dudes are out here looking.
Like we said, let's do some predictions. As you said, the Rams are 2.5 favorites. If I was a bettor, which I am not, and I do not condone it, and I do not condone listening to me because I am not a bettor.
Gambling advice.
Mike gambles a bit more. You should probably listen to him, if anything. Don't get mad at me though.
Don't get mad. Yeah.
I don't gamble, but I'm saying if I was a gambler, this is tough because I feel like betting the Seahawks would be a solid bet for betting. But if I'm just predicting who I think will win the game, I'm saying the Rams. I think that the Rams will win 28-23. That's my final score prediction. I think that the Seahawks are lacking some stuff that's going to be crucial.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I think. Listen, I wouldn't fight you if you said the Rams are going to win. The Rams are an excellent team. They have a great quarterback. They have a great defense. They're well coached. They have everything you want, right? But being that I'm a biased Seahawks fan, and being that I know this team more than most Rams fans or most of the general fans, I would say don't underestimate Russell Wilson, especially in Seattle in primetime. Every time he just seems to pull some magic out of his ass, right? You remember the Tyler Lockett play where he spun around, the Doug Baldwin play where he did like 2 pirouettes against the Cardinals. There was the game against the Rams where they missed the field goal to win us the game. Like, I just feel like there's going to just be a magic moment in this game. And I genuinely
I do feel like this game is leading up to like something like crazy happening that will set the NFL ablaze, whether that's from the Rams or the Seahawks. I just think it has that energy of having most Seahawks primetime games have something that goes a little viral.
Yeah.
Week two was the Seahawks stopping Cam Newton at the goal line, and it kind of became this huge thing. Week 5, I believe, was our next primetime game, was when Russ drove down to the field in like the last minute and a half and won the game.
Yeah.
Drove like 85 yards or whatever. In week 7, it was that moon ball to Tyler Lockett that everybody was gushing over, and Tyler Lockett having a ridiculous game.
And DK, the chase down.
Yeah, and the chase down. That's right. That's the most famous one.
Yeah,
I can't believe I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about it because DK didn't have a good day that game. Like
he didn't.
He had a fairly bad game. So the fact that kind of slipped my mind is a little crazy, but yes.
Yeah. And then later in the year, we played Arizona again, and it was we sacked Kyler Murray to end the game. And dude, and you forgot against the Vikings, KJ had that one-handed pick.
That one-handed pick. Yeah. The one versus the Cardinals in the second week is a little bit harder. I mean, that play where the ball hit off DK's face mask wasn't necessarily great.
We're gonna forget about that one. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would be the Seahawks stopping the Cardinals. That was a very
sack Kyler Murray.
Yeah, sack Kyler Murray.
But again,
I don't think we played any other primetime games after that, right?
No.
We were done.
I don't think so.
What was our Monday night game? We had one.
That had to be was it the Seahawks
Eagles game. The Eagles game. The Eagles
Oh my
game.
God, I totally forgot about the Eagles game.
Yeah, because we toasted the Eagles. I would probably say that game, was Carson Wentz throwing a pick to Quandre Diggs, who was standing alone in the end
Yeah,
zone.
that was really funny. That was really funny.
That was the one. That was
Yeah.
that was definitely it. So yeah, I mean, Seahawks games, primetime games especially, have tendencies to create those iconic moments. Mike, you know what? Just for the hell of it, now that we're on topic, do your prediction, and then let's predict a crazy moment that will
Let's
happen
do
in
it.
this game.
And we're clipping that and we're sending it to everybody on Seahawks Twitter. We're right. So my prediction is I think the Seahawks win this game 30-27. I think the Rams basically kick.
You're saying bet on the Seahawks.
No, I'm not saying bet on the Seahawks.
Yes, he's not saying no bet on the Seahawks, but he's kind of saying yes bet on the Seahawks.
I have an eyelash once again.
He's not telling you to bet on the Seahawks, but he's implying it.
Right.
So
right. So if they win, I told you.
We
so, but
can't
if they
be held
didn't-
accountable.
Right.
Because
obviously.
because he's not saying to. He's
Right.
just implying it. You know.
But
it's
when
like-
they win, I would be like, I told you so. So my prediction is 30-27.
or when they lose, you will
Rams-
get hate comments for days.
I didn't tell them to bet on the Seahawks.
Yeah,
but
exactly, right?
But I think the Rams genuinely outplay the Seahawks for probably 3 quarters. But I think the Seahawks hang in
Like
there.
always.
I think the Seahawks hang in there. I think the last, couple minutes of the game, Russ pulls the magic out of his ass and he gives us the win. And in that case, we would be second in the division, which sounds crazy where we were last week to be second in the division. But that's my prediction. All right, let's
My iconic moment. I had it planned out while you were talking.
okay.
And I
let's
realized that this is a really good one. Sean McVay is undefeated at halftime, is undefeated when leading the game at halftime. He's like 55-0.
Yeah.
I say the Seahawks are the first person to break that. I say if the Seahawks are losing at halftime, they will come back and win the game, breaking his incredible streak that has created history. That's my prediction. That's what goes viral because that's like my sports update and all them tweet.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know?
yeah. All right.
And then it comes on like GMFB the next morning and everybody's talking about it and it's a big thing. That's what I'm talking about. Seahawks will break that. Now the Seahawks will probably be winning at halftime and they'll lose. But we're not going to talk about that.
Knock on wood, really quick. My prediction, and this is kind of a bold one. I won't lie. I think, let's be real. Up until this point, Jalen Ramsey has been DK Metcalf's father, right? I think there's a play or multiple plays that would be preferred where DK just daddies the shit out of him, like mosses him, just completely just dusts him, and it just catches a moon ball from Russ. I'm predicting, maybe not the whole game, but just for 1 or 2 plays, DK absolutely babies Jalen Ramsey, and he gets some crazy catch over him. He dusts him or something like that. And
then,
just makes.
And then once again, my sports update tweets, "Whoa,
yeah,
DK just dusted Jalen Ramsey."
DK's on a mission or whatever stuff like that. They tweet. So
or like NFL, the NFL Twitter account being like, "DK Metcalf is on fire."
DK
Fire
chose
emoji.
Violence. Yeah, DK chose violence. And then that one. It's so weird to do in real life.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah, but that's our video. That's our prediction.
Yeah.
If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe. As always, leave a comment. We want to hear your opinion. If you guys think that the Seahawks will beat the Rams 100-0, go ahead, drop your opinion.
please let us know. Don't forget to subscribe also if you like this video or if you like me in general.
Subscribe if you like it. We'll be dropping a game recap, likely maybe the night of the game.
Yeah, if we're getting really whooped at halftime, we might just record at halftime and be like, all right, this game sucked.
Yeah, we're losing 40-0 at halftime.
And then Sam's
like...
prediction comes through and we come back.
We're
like,
and then I'm like, oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We post 2 videos in the same night. Like one, the Seahawks have failed us, and then the second one
was just
the Seahawks are ridiculous.
The second one's
We
just JK fam, we won. It's his title of the second video.
We went like 41-40, just like 41 consecutive unanswered points. Just
that would be fucking nuts.
A little bit of a comment here. Just the Seahawks. This is a big game for them.
Very big game.
This is a big game for them. If we win this week, this could start a run because we play the Steelers and the Saints the next 2 weeks after this week.
And the Saints just lost to Daniel Jones.
We could go from a 1-2 team to a 5-2 team
Oh my God,
very
that'd
fast
be
with a win tonight. With a win tomorrow, tonight for you guys. So this is a key game for this team. And,
need it. We need it.
Big time game. It's a new rivalry game after the Cabo tweets from last year. Meaning that my bold prediction might be that there's a little bit of a scuffle.
A little gentleman's disagreement.
Yeah, it's gonna be Jamal Adams and Aaron Donald or Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen
Ramsey.
He just punches the shit out of Jalen Ramsey and then mosses him. It's like same play. It's like
as a release.
Yeah.
Bah!
They'd be like taunting offense. You could be like, I don't care, bro. That shit was
taunting. Taunting. Just bah! It just smacks him in the face. Yeah, we're gonna call taunting on that one. I think it's a little. It's a little.
They'd be like taunting, roughing the passer. Those penalties offside. We're like, yes. All right. That's gonna do it for our little recap.
We'll see you guys next week or tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace out. I don't know.